So, good evening guys, and welcome to our normal OTL Realistic Performance League here on a Thursday night. Of course, the earlier starting time was 7:30. My usual rundown of grid, as I always do on a Thursday night. I will get that for every day. So, we have Rage and ENTXJ in the Haas, but Rage not in the Haas. I think Rob Wills takes that car. F. Lewis and Dixie both in the Williams, Ryan Sam and Fingers in the Alfa Romeos, Clarkey and Mikey in the Aston Martins, SPW Ranger in the Alpines, Skarma and Mick in the Alpha T's, Nico and Nick in the Ferraris, Volks, Bob and Pedro in the McLarens, Chubby Slug and Mitch in the Mercedes, and Mitsima and Bossman in the Red Bulls. I think Danny Boy though takes that Mercedes seat over Mitch, because Mitch dropped to reserve. In terms of championship, I think F. Lewis still leads the way, but has the gap closed any? Let's just have a look at the championship. So ENTXJ is only 14 points away from F. Lewis. ENTXJ, F. Lewis on 218, J on 204, then we have Mikey on 119 P3, then Rysan P4, 173, Rage P5 on 170, Chubby Slug P6 on 148, Pedro P7 on 135, Ranger P8 on 132, Dixie P9 on 130, and SPW rounding out the top 10 on 127. Then we have Clarkey P11, Nick P12, Fingers 13, Volks 14, Matty 15, Mitzi 16, Nico Rosberg P17, Bossman P18, Skarma P19, Helmy 20, Charlie 21, Mitch 22, Mick 23, Robbers 24, and Shiv 25. So, I am happy when the stream is, and I will get to my chat up. Bear with me 1 second, guys, if you are watching. And I will see who's joined me this evening. If you are watching, Archie and Mikey, good evening, gentlemen. It's a pleasure, as always, to commentating on your racing, and of course the last sprint format of the week, rounded off with realistic. So we will have the one-shot qualifying into a 25% race, which is 13 laps, and then into a 50% 26 lap race for full points. Good evening, Skalma. Hope you are well. A slightly depleted grid this evening. And of course, I've commentated so much in Silverstone this week, so hopefully these guys will go out with a bang. Who would be my favourite going into tonight? It's got to be Matoman, honestly, in that Mercedes car, or Chubby Slug for the sake of the stream. Don't underestimate the likes of Mikey and SPW. Been engrossed in a bit of a fight. Mitzi might keep up there as well in his Red Bull Cup. Get Danny Boy in the Mercedes as well. He's not one to count out. Danny showed very good tons of pace over the season. He's maybe not had all races go his way, but he's definitely showed that in the right car he can perform. Of course, Ranger, a very well adapted driver over the start of the season, especially in that transition to wheel. You see him much more settled now in the car, and you see the improvements. Australia and the Williams, I think, stands out mostly. He drove very, very well, and he put the Williams in a very good qualifying position. Also, there was another track as well, I'm sure it was there, Ranger. So yeah, so we get Mick in. We just wait on Fingers now. He will be our last man to join. Evening, Chris. Sorry, don't be sorry, Mick. We have it's a bit of an earlier start on a Thursday evening, so that makes life just a bit better. Not to stress. We were waiting on fingers as well. Goes fingers in that Alfa Romeo from that top 4 or top 6 finish last week. He had a very good performance. But what happens? Scotland's finest. Good evening, Mr. SPW. I hope you are well. I wish you well in your Alpine. Let's hope you can go and have a good old little race. Good evening, every day. If you can, before you start as well, drop a little thumbs up on the video. It always helps us out. So 20 seconds. Don't forget your setups, guys. Forget the tyres. Do the setup first. If somebody readies up, you can cope with starting on a soft compound tyre. You cannot cope with doing Silverstone on no setup. So that I say this a lot. It's my tip. Setup first, tyres second. Tyres you can deal with. Setup not so much. You're always going to lose some time. So they'll take a minute, they'll get their setups loaded up. What we see are split on the strategies. What we see a big manoeuvre for the medium compound tyre. It's definitely powerful if you can qualify well. Do a small stint on the medium and do a bigger stint in the soft compound here. It's definitely the way to go. But the guys have got 15 seconds, so it's been a quick ready up. Hope they've managed to get everything loaded up nice and quickly. And as normal, I will do my best to stay with somebody. It's not easy as ENTHJ joins in. He'll miss one shot qualifying, but he will start sprint from the back of the race. So he still gets in the sprint, and we're on F. Lewis, our championship leader. So that's a good man to stay with. Our other Williams driver. He sets P5. He's going to turn 1 and turn 2, they come at you absolutely flat out. Then into turn 3, finding you're braking about 70 metres and fall into the corner. Just nicely pick up your throttle nice and gently as you head through turns 4 and 5 and down the Wellington Straight for the first time. And through the King 5, Wellington Straight, DRS open and down into Luffield and the end of sector 1, and we'll go to Chubby Slug. He seems to be our pace setter at the moment. He's coming through Luffield on that medium compound tyre as well as Mataman, so he's trying to take the strategy by the throat. He has a little bit of a moment on the exit of the hairpin, but heading up to cuts, he is the man ahead. His sector 2 split will come just round the corner, and he stays absolutely flat through cups there. If anything, just a small little lift, and into Magus and Beckett's. We'll go to Volks at the back. He's coming into Magus and Beckett's. Has to have a lift on entry. He's going to miss his apexes just a little bit there. And that'll tail him down, and now Dixie making gains on that tyre line on the exit of Beckett's. We'll go to Dixie as we head up to the end of Hangar Straight. Dixie in P12 at the moment, but further up Rob Wills in the Haas having a good effort. He's up there in P10. We've got Chubby Slug. I think he's going to hit pole first. It's going to be Nico Rosberg. Although Nico Rosberg has a big moment at the last corner and he falls all the way through. So it's Chubby Slug P1, Ranger P2, SPW3, Skarma 4, Mick 5, Ryan Sam 6, Mikey 7, F Lewis P8, Mitsumat P9. Cracking effort from Rob Wills to get into that Haas inside the top 10. Then I think it was Dixie P11. Dixie P11, Fingers P12, Volksburg 13, Nico Rosberg having that spin out the last corner. We see him being that P2 position, falling all the way down right before the line. So what was the gap at the top? Half a second between Matoman and Ranger. So Matoman very, very comfortable at the moment. Ranger a very good lap in his Alpine. He actually beat his teammate on the harder compound tyre, so Ranger looking comfortable. Oh my god, I don't know how long I've been in mute. So chat, sorry, I'm back. I have no idea how long I've been muted for there, chat. How long was I not talking? Oh my god. My kiddie came through and I never realised I was on mute. I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry. I know my headset was being stupid. I am so sorry, guys. Apologies, but we've got Danny Boy putting Ryan Sam under pressure now as Adam boxed off for his soft compound tyre off that medium run. I have no idea how long I was muted there. Sorry chat. You got some silent racing. So Danny Boy now on the energy. That Mercedes will have the straight line speed to put the Alfa Romeo under pressure, and here is the gain now. He'll go to the high line. Oh, and Danny Boy has to get out of Ryan Sam there, just cutting his nose through. Danny Boy not near enough alongside Ryan Sam though, so I think that was absolutely fair as you like. And now where is Ranger in terms to Matoman? We'll get on board with Ranger, and this is going to be the interesting one. Sorry about that, chat. So, Ranger has not got out in front of Matoman. The undercut did not work, and now Ranger has a bit of work to do to try and gain that, of course, on a slightly older tyre as well. Fingers not fighting that one too much. I think he is racing his race at the moment. So our new medium compound tyre, guys, they've lost out a little bit, but SPW still in net P3 of this race. And Ranger has picked up a time penalty, so that could be huge for SPW. He has Skarma hot in his heel, but Skarma just not got the energy to fight this. As now we have some more pitters. Is that Mikey just going on to his fresh set of boots? I think it is. So Jubby slugged back into P3. For the moment, of course, Danny Boy and Ryan Sam both still to pit. So Mikey comes out behind the Skarma SPW fight, and he's in the DRS range as well. So Mikey is well in the fight for P3 here. We see Skarma going a bit deep in the brakes in the left field, nearly into the back SPW, but you see here he'll get the better exit. He'll be able to close that gap up. He's managed to recover some of that energy. Ryan Sam picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings. That's not going to help his cause, and I don't think Skarma's going to be closing up. But look at Mikey. Here comes Mikey with the abundance of energy in reserve, and Mikey is out here to fight. Is Mikey going to bring him a P3 in his Aston Martin? Skarma trying to put the pressure back on the end of the last couple of corners, but it's not going to come this time around. I think Matoman is checking out though. He sets the fastest lap of the race, gap up to 4 seconds to Ranger. So Matoman, bar no mistakes, has got a pretty comfortable margin in terms of pace of his car. But the question is, can Mikey get through for P3, and then has Mikey got enough pace to get up and sneak P2? Of course, this is all for starting position in the feature race as well. 4 laps to go. Mikey's in the DRS. He's got 80% energy to SPW's none, of 15%, so he's not got a lot at all. And you see just how Mikey closes up there in the braking zone. And Mikey just going to get out that in the entrance to Cup Series, not wanting to fight that too much. Scum is not out this one as well. So can Mikey get the run? He's lost a little bit of time in the exit of Beckett's, but he's on that energy. You'll see the light flashing. Will it encourage him to stay on it a little bit longer? He is now going to go for it. He gets another boost. Is it a big move down the inside? It's not going to come this time around, but SPW, and Mikey knows it, it's going to be a hard man to overtake. As we say that, Dixie now on his soft compound tyre, really starting to work a treat for him. He's got no penalties as well, so if he can get through in Ryan and find a bit of time, he's right in a good scoring opportunity here. We'll go back to the Mikey SPW battle because we're just coming up to another DRS zone, and Mikey much closer this time around. Can he get the run down the Wellington straight? He is gaining a little bit, but I still don't think he'll be close enough. Scum about the same distance behind as well. And this is the relevant fight at the moment, although we've got Danny Boy on the back of Dixie here, but I think Dixie's still going to have DRS, so even though he's in that slower Williams car, it's not going to be easy to overtake. Rob Wills managing to hang on to the DRS as well, so he was not looking forward to the Haas, but he's hanging on to fight, says Rob. And I think this could be the time for Mikey. We will stay on board as we come through Maggots and Beckett's, because I think up hanger straight, Mikey gets a much better exit there. And this is going to be the move. There's not much SPW can do about it. He'll go to the right to defend the inside line, but Mikey will breeze through just with that overspeed on the DRS. And now Mikey's got some energy in reserve that he can maybe try put some distance between himself and SPW. Let's look at the penalty situation. Ranger on 3 seconds. As Mikey get 5.5 seconds in that car, it would be a very big ask. And Skarma now on the back of that, but let's see the Danny and Dixie fight. Dixie, I think, trying to attack Ryan Sam as well as defend from Danny at the same time. And he's not far away from getting Mitsima in the penalties as well as Adam, so he could still very well finish inside the top 10. Is Danny Boy going to be able to make the move this time around? I don't think Dixie's got the DRS. Oh, he did. So Dixie's still in that DRS pocket. Ryan Sam is not, but he's just not got the energy to close the distance. And SPW and Skarma now having a bit of a battle. So SPW maybe not choosing to fight that, but I'm having a time penalty. He knows it's still a P3 or a P4, sorry. Oh, Skarma's a big moment through Beckett's, and SPW here will come back through. He'll have the energy. Skarma will defend to the racing line, but SPW, without even using any energy, gets back through, top hanger straight, and now back to P4. And we've seen a battle brewing. We see her here, Dixie and Danny Boy, and Dixie here will go for the cutback. Can't get it this time around. A big move into the braking zone. I don't think you worry too much with some penalties up the road. And we've had a moment there, I think it might be for Wolfsburg. Yes, it is. But Chubby Slug, 6.8 seconds ahead. He's coming through Cops for the penultimate time. He's been absolutely faultless in the sprint race, of course. Having that powerhouse of a Mercedes under him makes him a very hard driver to catch. So will Scammer be able to make the move here? And who's that having a bit of a moment? Was that Dixie? I don't think it was. Somebody had a moment somewhere. Oh, it's maybe Volks actually just getting out of the way. And look at this. Ryan Sam against F. Lewis. And I think Ryan Sam is about to go through on F. Lewis. We'll see ERS on DRS open. Heading down the hanger straight. He is gaining the Ferrari powertrain, struggling just a little bit in the straight, but he'll go to the inside line. And he's not going to make that move this time around. And Mick now picking up a time penalty, which won't hurt him too much, actually, because he's still well within range of Scammer's 5 seconds. So on to the last lap we go. In fact, Chubby Slog is deep in the last lap. About to come up through Cops for the last time. We will stay with him. He is going to be our sprint victor. And onto the hanger straight for the last time, lighting up the sectors. He's half a tenth up, so maybe a push here for the fastest lap, although no point for it in the sprint race, so it don't matter him too much. And down into the last couple of corners. He got the better car, of course, for the day, but you still need to bring that car to the flag, and Mataman will come round the last corner and he'll take the checker flag in the Britain sprint. It's going to be a stellar drive from Ranger. He's going to bring that Alpine home in P2, and he's shown a good turn of form as Ranger. He'll be happy to be P2. Mikey dragged the Aston up. He got to P3, of course, the lead man on the lead strategy. He makes that work. He gets to P3. SPW a solid P4. In the end, Scammer will drop down to P6, so Mick gets to P5. Nico Rosberg P7. Then it's going to be Mitsima 8, Ryan Sam 9, F. Lewis 10. Danny Boy 11, Dixie 12, but it's going to change a little bit at the line. So Dixie goes to P10, F. Lewis P8, Ryan Sam 9, Mitsimat 11, Rob Wells P12, Danny Boy 13, Fingers will be P14, and Volkswagen will come home in the end. He's letting cars through that are in AI now. Volks, if you're watching, you should just go, mate. They're all AI cars. Volks will bring home P15, and then ENTXJ in P16. And of course, guys, do not leave the lobby. We have a feature race coming up. 1 second, shot. So apologies for the silence there. Chat, what was said, that 5 seconds need to be 2. I definitely got 3, but it come with... I thought you got the 5 seconds for speeding in the pits, Mitzi Matt. I could be wrong, of course. In fact, can I see in race director? Oh, I didn't get to see it in the end. That sucks. We could have checked that. Just then it would have been on stream, Mitzi Matt, and you wouldn't needed to report it in any way. It would have been there for the stream to prove. Sorry, I tried to give you some moral support there in your query, but I was unable, not quick enough. And if you wonder what the chinkle is, chat, I'm just making myself a little brew, because comms need fluid. So, of course, we'll get set for oh yikes, he's both got one. 46, well that's speeding in the pits as well, because it's a 37 mph pit lane. I would defo, if you both went in at the same speed and you feel hard done by in the pit lane there, I would definitely report that, Mitchie, and try and get it away. 100%, mate. Oh, chat, sorry. I usually get our top 3 guys in for a little chitty chat as well, but I've kind of neglected that. There's so many things to do in between the 2 races there. And of course I forgot that something went really strange with my muting on my headset, and well, I don't know how long in that sprint race I was in silence, but it was a little while, I am sure. So apologies for that one. So they will redo the grid, and then we should be able to go racing. So the call came from Adam, who's in charge this evening. 3 minutes till we get going, and then a couple of minutes on the grid. No driver to ready up. Give them all a little bit of time to get setups, etc. prepped. So Adam will just be prepping the grid. Of course, the finishing order from that sprint race will determine our grid. We'll see what's happening. Oh, that's just Adam saying that they'll go in 3 minutes. So chat, who's feeling it for the feature race? Who's feeling it? Are we all in good spirits? So how many are we up to for the race? 16? Ian TXJ takes his seat in the Haas Mobile. So we should be going in any moment. I think we will have Jensen join us shortly as well, as we get set for what will be 26 laps of Britain. Will the guys be able to adjust and settle to the slightly heavier car? Because it is a bit of a change. I often feel like after a couple of laps in the 25%, you're almost doing quality laps. Like, you can really be aggressive and the car accepts it, but if you try that when you're full of fuel, it could be a bit of a nightmare. And who will we see in that podium? It was close there between SPW, Skarma, Mikey. So, could we see some change? So we have some ticks. That means it's time. Mitzi, Matt, seeing that situation, I think it just needs to be your pits, because we just need to see what speed you were doing at the pit lane. Matt loves wet rain. Okay. That was... what? Adam? I don't really know how to take that statement, if I'm honest, mate. That was peculiar. I'm not going to repeat Mitzi Matt's comment. So, remember chat, do not ready up setups before tyres. Free tyre choice anyway, so it doesn't matter much. And then focus on your race ahead. .26 laps coming up. It's about 15-16 laps medium, 10 laps on the soft. You can swing that a couple of laps either way, but that's going to be probably the closest to everyday. Run about that mark, 15 or 16 medium, and then 10 or 11 on the soft. They may even push to 17 medium, 18 medium, and then just go for 8 or 9 laps on the soft compound tyre. But keeping the soft to the end, I think, is a good play. But safety cars can be very impactful in strategy choice. Britain is a track where you do not want to spend too much time in the pits, because it's a long old pit lane. It's like over 30 seconds, so it's just not somewhere you want to be often. So the less time you spend in the pits, the better, because you're not trying to find back that 30 odd seconds of track time that you lose while you take the stop. So, two stopping's really not an option. Especially for the guys maybe further down the grid. Mato Man can maybe go for a two-stop, make the race a bit interesting. Don't be scared. And there the timer comes, so everybody's had their opportunity. And we will now get set for our formation lap. And look at that for timing. Our man from Shizou joins us. Good evening, Jensen.
Yes. I may need an invite to the lobby.
Oh, yes, of course. Just as the guys are going in the formation lap as well. Beautiful timing. How about we, sir? How was the race? Very, very well done. From where? Oh, let's go. Shizou Jensen doing what Shizou Jensen does. That's what we like to hear. just doing Jensen things. Dominating, as always, as Dixie gets disqualified from the session for not moving. As does Volksbob. Let me do a little bit of audio adjusting, it's quite loud.
Already finished?
Yes, Mataman won. Of course, Mataman in the Mercedes.
Max has won.
We see somebody there, I think that was SPW, have a small little excursion over to the wall. Yes, it was. He had a bit of a moment on the entrance to Wellington Straight. So Mataman P1, Ranger P2, Mikey 3, SPW P4, Mick P5, Scammer P6, Rosberg and Nico P7, Eflus P8, Ryan Sam 9, Dixie P10, Mitzi Matt P11, Robos 12, Danny Boy 13, Fingers 14, Volks 15 and ENTXJ in P16. ENTXJ and Rob Wills both in that dog of a hash. But Rob Wills still took it to P12 and he was running inside the top 10 for a little bit. But Mataman won the sprint in the end by like 8 or 9 seconds, so I think an easy day in the office ahead for Matt.
Interesting tyre choices around, and Rage is not here. Interesting.
Yeah, I think being fasting, I just don't think he's got the energy for the racing. Or he's got to do a certain thing like right in the race time, and he like has to, which is fair enough.
Interesting. Oh wow, Skarma's all the way back, very far back. What's happened to him? He's...
Let's see. And now he's in.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that was strange.
A bit buggy, but I think we're going.
Yep, so we have 4 lights, 5 lights, and the Britain feature race for Realistic is away, and we'll get on board with Mataman as we see Ranger try to get that nose up the inside. Let's watch as they come through turn 1 for the first time. It's Mataman followed by Ranger, Mikey tucked up there in P3, Nico Rosberg out of nowhere managed to find 3 positions, he's up to P4 off the start. That soft compound tyre worked very well for Nico Rosberg off the start, but Chubby Slug leads the way. Ranger in that P2 position, Mikey in P3, Nico Rosberg in P2, and he looks to be trying to put Mikey under some pressure. Skarma falling backwards.
Skarma's having some issues. It's an AI mode or something, but
I think he's back now.
I think it's a very clean start to the race.
SPW lost out a couple of positions.
Oh, I think Mitsumat just got sandwiched there between Danny Boy and I think it might have been Rob Wills or Jay. And Danny Boy keeps it in at Cox. Mitsumat, got sandwiched there.
Yeah, and Jay gets overtaken by Adam on the exit of Cops. That hash, you should see the understeer. It is not a pleasant car to drive. What's happening further ahead? F. Lewis chasing down SPW. F. Lewis made up a position off the start, our championship leader. And I was saying pre-race, Jensen, the medium tyre probably looking to do 15 to 17 laps on the mediums. That's about right?
Yeah, about that. Do longer than the softs, but yeah, about probably 16 is where you want to go to have some strong tyres all the way to the end.
And have you ever lost a race at this track, Jensen?
Have I ever lost a race?
Like since you've been the Jensen that we all know.
When's that?
Probably in the last 2 years.
Of course I have, yeah.
You have?
I do, but I've won most of them.
I was going to say if it's not anything else, it would have been a win.
my most successful track in league race is 17 wins, so
I knew that's why I was asking. I knew it was one of your best circuits by a good distance as well.
yeah.
And we go Danny Boy putting Rob Wells under pressure. That Mercedes pivot just taking a mile. The Rob Wells got some reasonable straight line speed in the horse there. That was impressive stuff.
Yeah. It's impossible to defend that Mercedes there. He's through. And Matt has already got over a second gap to Ranger. And Ranger getting DRS and oh no.
And there goes Dixie and Ian TXG both getting through in Volks Bob. And I think we might see Ian TXJ make a move and Dixie here into turn 3. Here he goes on the brakes. Dixie will hold that higher line. It'll give him the inside line for 4. I think Dixie will fend that off, but they'll stay side by side. Yep. And
DRS. This is Haas with DRS versus the Williams from pure straight line speed. It's not really much of a difference, but Jay's got that through. With that one, and there's a McLaren going off in the background, Volkswagen putting in the ground into the braking zone. Oh, and Greenfinger's lost the back end. He's lost the front wing as well.
Ah.
He lost the full front wing. Yes, no, he hasn't. He's only lost an end plate from that, which is amazing.
And Nico Rosberg here on Mikey for P3 in the race. There he goes through, easy DRS past Mikey, he'll tuck back in behind. And these guys of course on that soft compound tyre. As we see Mick and SPW having a bit of a battle on their mediums for P5.
Oh, and it's Ranger. Ranger's hit a wall. Or
No, has he dropped it out of turn 1?
Might have been on the curb at turn 2.
Or 2, yeah. And Fingers picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Ouch. Adding insult to injury, and has Ranger got any damage? That's the question. It doesn't look like it. He's going to have some very, very wounded tyres. As Dixie and ENTXJ go battle once again. Here comes Jay, goes to the inside at Lovefield. Can I get the job done? Dixie's going to hold it on the higher line. He'll get now the inside.
Jay, oh, he's going to keep it. He's going to keep it. And does he get the run on Dixie? Dixie's just got the straight line speed, I think. Coming to Cox. Is Jay going to try and hang it around the outside? A bit too ambitious really to do.
But he is going to go.
Oh no.
Magus and Beckett, some racing coming up. Oh, and there was contact, and Jay has been turned round. Yeah, and I think there was space there with just such slight contact at such high speeds. I could be wrong. Oh, and Adam's going to wait. Adam feels like he never left him space, and look at the respect shown here on track. ENTXJ will appreciate that. And they will continue the battle. So fair play there from Adam. So Mikey, Nico Rosberg got through, but Mikey had enough. Yeah, I felt he did as well, Shiv. I think there was enough. Just that such slight contact at the high speed. It's just the game physics are horrendous. And SPW's got through and Mick ahead, but Mick all over the back as SPW is taking a little excursion off to the grass. So he will now lose out a little bit. F. Lewis, Ryan, Sam, Skarma and Ranger of course having that early moment. They're all gaining now back up to the back at SPW. And SPW trying to get himself, I think, back into that DRS zone, and I think he's managed to just get himself back in the window there, which will make his life much easier at defending the position. Skarma picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings. And the battle between Dixie and Jay further back continues. Matoman 4 seconds ahead after 5 laps, so He's absolutely chilling.
Here comes Adam once again. For another go, he takes the inside. That's low, and he's going to keep it. He's going to send it around the outside. And once again, they're side by side into the chicane. And Skarma's leading this race apparently.
Oh, no, it's Chubby
right.
Slug and Mainz, yeah.
Yeah.
And side by side, out of the last corner, there's some tremendous stuff here between Adam and ENTXJ. He'll tuck in behind, you've got to be careful, they're that close to the car, the rear of the car can get very, very late.
Matt is just cruising at the moment. Supposed to be in the Mercedes.
Oh, bear with me 1 second, Jensen.
Have another first time winner this season. Matt, keep doing as it is. The dominant sprint and feature his performances. Car number 27. Meanwhile, have Adam come back at J here. Is he close enough for a move? And Matt sets the fastest off of the race. Adam on the push, DRS and ERS. J is not using anything. Closing speed is massive. 10th per second. There we go.
Some apologies there, Jensen.
Oh, and range is gone again, and he's on a slow rejoin, and now Skarma's come back to his place. So
Mick and SPW doing battle as well here.
he's it's just Mick. That's 2.
So there's still battles. I thought the grid would space out a bit, but the midfield is...
doing that again. Adam's got through into Brooklands. But how about Mick? Can he get a run on SPW? SPW's ran out of energy, and he's going to use. And he's going to just about stay ahead. Good closing speed from Mick, but it's not enough. Mattman setting another fast lap on a race. Second consistent fast lap start for the last couple of laps.
Some Matterman on the push.
Yeah, he's looking pretty chill.
F. Lewis. Oh no, he's back in. I thought he just fell out that kind of DRS train, the P4 to P8 train, but he's managed to get himself back in there. What is the energy like? Mick got a bit of an advantage to those around him for now.
Not so good. So Mick is on the push again. I think he's aiming to get SPW this lap.
Is Mayhe close enough to get the move? And Nico Rosberg here. Nico way down in the energy. Mayhe playing the long game.
But this time Mick might push a little bit more. Still not enough.
Some Matterman sets another fastest lap. He's chilling.
He's just improving every single lap. And 30% energy on board.
Jay and Adam, yet again. Adam back through an ENTXJ, and these guys I think are just going to keep going at it for the full race. And I think they might be enjoying this one. And look at Jay here, he'll try and go up and get the cut back now. He'll barely get the traction. He's going to sit right in behind Dixie here. DRS will pop open, all on that energy, and he's making the gains down the Wellington straight. He'll pull to the inside into Luffield. Can he get this one done? There's a little bit of wheel banging, but that happens sometimes. He's done his best. He'll leave the space now on the inside. Adam will come back at him. He'll get the traction zone. Adam leaves the space in the inside, and now it's a drag race up to Scotland. But Dixie with the better straight line speed manages to get through, and somewhere in this, Mikey has also got through on Nico Rosberg. Nico Rosberg now with a time penalty. Mikey up to P2, and he's Aston Martin, and he's doing a very, very good job. And this could be for Mikey for the championship lead. Let me just go in and do some investigating. It's 28 points in it at the moment, so not quite the championship lead, but very much getting a nice chunky 10 or 15 points back in F. Lewis. Welcome back, sir. And this battle rages on for the back in the grid. And Mikey.
Oh, there's a yellow flag, and that's SPW. He's around, and he's lost his front wing, and that's a BSC. He's going to neutralise the pace a little bit. I think SPW's going to have to hope that stays out, or if safety car can come out.
And I don't think well, any of the soft tire guys now, they could maybe get a cheap stop here, get like some Mikey. They could be looking to jump into the pit stop here. And Mikey he's going to jump on that, as is Nico Rosberg.
Would Danny Boy and Ranger go for it? Surely.
Not part of the old plan. That's it, give Mikey the cheap pit stop. Mick continues on, F. Lewis goes on, Rise, I'm getting in from the medium compound tyre, Danny Boy goes in. Ranger and SPW will need to go in. He needs to be careful not to get a time penalty. He gets himself nice.
And the BSC ends midway through the pit stops.
So they'll save maybe not as 5 or 6 seconds. Yeah. Don't think it's going to be massive now, but they will definitely gain on that entrance phase. You're probably more accurate.
I saw with Volkswagen. Volkswagen just stayed out.
Whoa, and Mikey had a huge snap there on the exit of turn 3. Yeah, I think Britain is the slowest pit. It's like 32 seconds or something, I'm sure. It's very bad. Jensen will know how long the pit stop is. He knows every number in the game.
Yeah, about 30 seconds.
So there you go. That is hurtful.
It's 29, 30 seconds, yeah.
So SPW, after what was looking to be a very, very good result, not where they would want to be. Rob Wills in the Haas, up there in P5, chilling at the moment, and Scum will be bags and bags of energy right on the back of F. Lewis. And did Skarma box? Was Skarma one of our pit stoppers there? He was not. So only Mikey and Nico Rosberg got the cheap stop. Dixie chose to continue, that's found them a bit of track position. So Nico Rosberg on Mikey. Will we see an overtake here? Down Wellington, I don't think he's going to push too much to get close enough. Scarman F. Lewis though, could be an opportunity coming up. Britain does like to fling some weather in.
Apparently Skarma isn't even driving for me. Where is Skarma for you?
P4?
Is he?
Yeah.
He's somewhere completely different to me. He's down at P13. In AI, used always deploy already in Sector 1. Bugged the car for me, I think.
I'm trying to determine if this is Skarma in the car.
You'll probably have the right one. Skarma keeps on going all the way to the top and bottom. The timings every now and again.
Yeah, I think this is Skarma in the car.
Shall I rejoin?
Huh?
Shall I rejoin?
Yeah, you could try that. See if it fixes it for you. That is a bit strange. So Dixie and Jay, the battle continues. Mikey now on the back of Rob Wills. He is going to try and go through. He'll put a car between himself and Nico Rosberg for the middle sector of the lap, which is probably ideal scenario. I think Nico Rosberg though is going to be able to push through. Yeah, I think it was Skarma. Jensen gets back to the lobby. So Rob hanging on to the DRS for another lap, which will be very handy for him indeed.
Alright, it's fixed itself now. Skarma is there.
Nice. So Ryan Sam on the soft compound tyre. He's only been on it for a lap. He's gone for 13 laps. He's splitting the stint completely down the middle. SPW went to the hard compound tyre. He wasn't confident of taking the soft that distance.
Early stop for Ryan Sam then. Was.
Yeah.
He's gonna be only having most of his cars not credit in the race.
And Dex says he fell out of Jay's DRS. Yeah, I think he did. So Nico Rosberg get back through and Mikey after the pit stops. So Mataman sets another fastest lap of the race on a 14 lap old medium, so he is very, very chilling.
Very much a man on a mission at the moment.
And if he keeps pushing on a bit. Oh.
Popped over the curb a little bit there. Which drifted out a little bit wider as the entry curve remains active.
Look at the straight line speed in this Alpine here. Ranger
sending it
up the inside.
got it done. That mistake has cost him. That mistake then cost him dearly.
So Nico Rosberg into the pits. Oh, is that Skarma? Oh yeah, of course. So Skarma, I think it's going to come out not far away from Danny Boy. Not, I think it'll be about 5 or 6 seconds away. Not even that, second or two. So the mighty Nico Rosberg fight. Oh wait, there, Ryan Sam and Dixie. Look at this coming down Wellington Straight. Looking for some moves, but nothing coming this time around. And this is the problem with that early pit stop. The traffic becomes a bit of an issue, right? So I'm looking for ways to get past Dixie, but Dixie will not come unstuck. But look at this, Ryan Sam now gets on the inside line on the run up to Cops. Dixie's going to hold his car there at Cops corner. They'll go 2 by 2, but Dixie just lets Ryan Sam fall through. He's not going to take any risks here, but he will close all the way back up, and then he needs to be careful. They're picking up a penalty in the entrance to Maggots and Beckett's.
Mikey's took the move on Nico Rosberg. Mickey's in the pits. Matt's picked up a penalty. But I don't think it's going to affect too much.
I think we need a lot of penalties to be impactful.
Unless
That's
it's a
a
safety
good
car,
view.
that shouldn't really be too.
So is Mick coming out P4? He's going to be right in the back of that fight, actually, isn't he?
He might be in the middle of it, possibly. Will he get ahead of his teammate for the race? He can't.
So Scammer gets the undercut on Mick. That's interesting. Scammer trying to make a move here, and Danny Boy's not going to be able to this time around. And Nico Rosberg's still hanging on to the back of Mikey as Mataman goes another tenth quicker on that tyre.
Just showing that his mediums aren't done yet. He's pulled 2 seconds over F. Lewis in 16 laps.
And there goes Nico Rosberg back through on Mikey. Mikey will slot back into P4.
One of the last couple of drivers to pit, F. Lewis, Adam and Matt.
And are we finally going to see a Mazda spin that doesn't spin? It's Nico Rosberg. What's that?
Flag, and that's Adam. At the moment. And he'll dive into the pits in that.
I mean, if you're going to have a moment, that's the place to have it. Ian, Rob Wells, I think he's going to get through on Adam in the Haas. So we just have a leader now to pit. He is the last man. I think everybody else has done a stop, and we'll go to the end of the race. We'll get an indication of exactly where everybody is then. Scammer still trying to put Danny Boy under pressure. This time Danny Boy does not have any DRS, and Scammer is pushing and pushing. Is he going to go to the inside at Lovefield? Not this time around. Danny Boy gets squeezed out a little wide. Will Scammer use his tyre grip here to get off the corner and the run up to Cox? Bear with me 1 second, Jensen.
Fight going on with Mick and Danny Boy. They're getting very close. Sam picks up a penalty through turn 1.
Sorry, Jensen, I see my son peeking behind my telly. It's a wee jobby. So what is happening now? Mikey behind and Nico Rosberg. What is the time penalty? That's what I want to see. So 6 seconds for Nico Rosberg, 6 seconds for Rangers, 6 for Scarlett, 9 for Danny, 6 for Jay, 6 for Dixie, and then some 3 seconds for Mataman, Brian Sam, Rob Wills. Greenfinger's got 2 threes and a speeding in the pit penalty as well. If he pits again, of course, he will serve that 5 seconds. So we can get that one away and get it back down to 6, but he's a little bit off the pace. Let me see here, Mikey closing in the DRS, and that's somebody into the pits. Who is that? On his fingers. Fingers had a moment out the last corner. And he's after me on that hard compound tyre. And look at this, ENTXJ and SPW is trying to make moves. He's on that better compound tyre, SPW on the hards. And I think this should be quite an easy move here for ENTXJ. SPW make it as difficult as possible. He's got to defend hard on that hard compound tyre. You hold that tight inside line, and look at the understeer just pull J wide, and SPW able to put up a defence there. And ENTXJ has to stay behind just now, and this is a good little battle brewing here between these two. Some very, very good stuff happening. At the moment, lap like 13 or 14, Mike, and yeah, I think he was worried that the soft maybe doesn't go the distance. So ENTXJ will look here, you see he'll get the better exit. He's on that soft compound tyre, he'll almost be beside SPW to come onto the Wellington straight, and ENTXJ will even get back to the racing line. SPW will defend this on the inside. He knows that Haas is a hard car to get into the corners, but I think Jay here on the exit will get the better run. And here we go, SPW now will come back at him, though he'll pull back to the outside line. ENTXJ tries to get the squeeze on, but SPW will get his car back ahead as they go into cup side by side, and SPW just gets the car back ahead, but ENTXJ is not over with this one. He's going to try and come back at SPW and entrance to Mackett's and Beckett's. It probably was a good idea just to get out it, but will we see this battle continue as we head up Hangar Straight now? ENTXJ gets back on the energy, and here he comes. He'll pull to the racing line. SPW defending again the inside line. We know he's good in that inside line, and again he defends it off. He is defending for his life, but ENTXJ goes for the exit now, and he'll have the racing line as they come in to that final chicane. SPW now, he's tried to defend the inside line, and ENTXJ will try and go around the long way through the last corner on the outside line. SPW gets the squeeze on and gives them space, and into turn one side by side. They're still going at it through two, and it's not the time to see, and I think ENTXJ's managed to.
Oh, look at this.
And it's getting us a really bad view of this. Let's go to SPW, because somehow SPW managed to come back.
Crashed out of turn two.
Oh, and safety car out.
Oh my god, what has happened?
And that was some tremendous stuff. The safety car robbed us an absolute epic battle there.
I think it hasn't. I think it's just opened up a ton of new battles here in the final few laps.
So a reset for a few laps, and Mataman, yep, he's got that penalty.
A 3-second gap to his main rival is Mikey. So drivers are gonna gain from this. Mikey, Mick, and it seems always he's got gains from it. He never gets penalties. F. Lewis is gonna gain some good positions here.
So do you think SPW goes for track position?
F. Lewis has gone for track position. That could be.
Oh, interesting.
That could be an inspiring decision. Yeah.
And Rob Wells gets a time penalty for speeding in the pits.
Who's going to win this race?
And Chubby Slug tucked up behind that safety car.
I've still got belief in Matt. He could do it. That Mercedes got the pace. Safety car will probably be in either next or the following lap, so it'll be 3 laps of racing. 3 laps to get away.
So everybody into the pits. A lifeline for those without the penalties, those that have managed to keep their nose clean, guys like SPW, Volks, Mikey, F. Lewis and Mick. Big opportunities ahead, because we know DRS, it's not going to be easy to just pull away, and If they can stay in the penalty gaps, there's going to be a lot of positions to gain. And I think we should just have a moment of appreciation there for the SPW ENTXJ. That is the battle of the race. I'm sure most of the chat around it watching would agree. I wish you could spectate the safety car in the formation lap. That'd be a nice touch. So my money's still on Matt pretty securely.
Yeah.
Even with that penalty and only a few laps of racing going to take place, I think it's still comfortably Matt. And the guys will need to think as well, they'll need to get round to catch up, because if they don't catch up the safety car in a couple of laps, it will go in at 24.
I wanted him to win as well. He hasn't won since his Singapore win from the hotel. So.
No, that's right.
Yeah, been quite a long time. I don't think he has. Has he won this game? No, he hasn't. But his first win on this game, his last win was on 2020, I think, from the hotel.
You're right, Shiv. Although be going with that thing with the FIA and Ferrari, if people get wind of that, I don't think it'll be Ferrari for much longer either. Interesting to see how that one plays out. Very, very interesting.
So yeah, I think it'll be in next lap.
Yeah, I think they'll all be caught up by then. Oh, excuse me.
3 laps of racing, Chris. You think it's going to win this?
I mean, I think Matt's got it comfortable, but my intrigue comes for that battle for the podium. Because
Mick might, if he could keep with him, that'd be perfect for him. And Mick's our full-time driver, so this would be a proper win for him.
oh yeah.
He replaced or took place of Mitch, I think.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Forgot about that.
Someone else took. I need to see. It was Mitch and Schley and the what's the team called? The Day Dribblers. Name. Skarma as well. He's got 6 seconds of penalties, so he might drop a place. He might gain actually a place.
Oh, Nico Rosberg spun behind the safety car. So Mazepin spun. No.
Oh,
He did that. He did that. It wouldn't be a race without
no, he did.
the Nico Rosberg Mazepin spun. Got to follow you, Mr. Nico Rosberg. But just always think about it, you've got a 2016 title to always look at on the wall.
Yeah, and
But you're not a 4-time champ like Jensen. Who?
always boast about beating Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, that's it. Just like Jensen Button.
Jenson Button, the real goat.
Yep.
He outscored Lewis Hamilton over the 3 seasons.
And a clean season as well. You could say he's the only driver ever to beat him in a clean fight. Because Nico, of course, the
2010, yeah, Button had the worst luck in that one. And being taken out a couple of times by Dubis Veltmeister.
oh yes.
And then Hamilton and Massa the next year, and then I think they were basically only 2 points separated in 2012 than that season. But yeah, Lewis I think got a bit luckier there, but still, Jenson Button outscored Lewis Hamilton.
So safety car coming in. Mataman not slowing down massively, he's still trundling along. Speed now, and now he needs to hold that speed all the way.
But when he's going to go, is he going to choose it early, or is he going to You have to go early where you could gain time or unexpected,
and I think he's going to go straight away off the last chicane here. Skarma picks up a time penalty.
He has 3 laps to get another 2.3 seconds over Mick to win this race. Can he do it? Can Mick keep with him? And at the moment, Mick is somewhat keeping with. Oh, and there's been an instant back there. It's Nico Rosberg and Rob Wills both having moments.
No, I wonder if they both dropped out of the first cordon. Look at this, SPW, Dixie and Mitsima all having a bit of a battle. SPW gets back on the attack, he's full going the energy, but Dixie's going to defend it off, he'll feint that inside line. And try and roll it all the way in there. That was nearly a good move. In fact, I say nearly, he's going to go right round the long way. And SPW will get that overtake done. That's a very, very good move there. Dixie will need to slot him behind and he could come...
Lewis, Mikey and Ranger, they're all a little bit close here.
Yeah, let's go to that fight. That podium battle.
Yeah, who's going to get this? I think F. Lewis is not going to catch up to Mick. Mick's already 2.1 seconds.
And Mikey is not hanging around this time. Here he goes, he's on the energy to the inside line. Top of the hanger straight, and I think Mikey will get through into P3.
And F. Lewis come back there. F. Lewis, this might be his last opportunity to keep in the podium. His V rating already this lap. He's used all the energy he's able to use. Matt fastest lap, and then that safety car may have just given him an extra point, possibly. But now he's got a 3-second gap. And there goes Ranger and F. Lewis around the outside. F. Lewis, they make a little bit of contact, and now it's got Skarmo and Ryan Sam right behind him.
I don't know if F. Lewis was just not trying to hold up Ranger much there.
He's struggling a little bit, forcing a Williams here, and dropping down a little bit. This could lose him, well, we might put him in the Cooker car next week, but he's losing at the podium here. Slowly but surely, Ryan Sam over the back of him, using the energy. F. Lewis using as well.
And of course they won't get any DRS, so they're just going to have to get this job done in pure pace. Over these last few laps, Ranger now up to 9 seconds in penalties.
Ryan Sam on the inside of F. Lewis, he's going to send it. Ryan Sam gets through, F. Lewis has to back out a little bit. Skarma is at the back of his car as well, but he's got 9 seconds.
Oh, we do, we get 1 lap of DRS, I never thought we would get that, so Mikey now...
Mikey has a chance here, he has a chance here of P2. It's Mikey. Can he get that? There's the yellow flag, and that's Volkswagen's in a spin, I think. Out the final chicane, and he's falling back.
Dixie getting through, and Mitzi Matt with a big move into turn 3 though.
Look at SPW and Jay there. SPW's lost out, or it might have just been timing's been a bit weird. And Mikey's through. Mikey's took it early, Chris.
Interesting. So, does he feel he's got the energy to defend that one off, or just got the pace to pull away? Mick though...
He's been struggling through Magnus and Beckett this race, but can he keep with Mikey this time around?
And look at Ranger. Ranger is absolutely hunting Mick as well.
4.5 tenths, here we go. Magnus Beckett. Oh, I think Mikey might just about hold on here. 6 tenths, that might just be enough for Mikey, but here comes Matt. He's coming around the final corner there. Here comes Ranger on the way back as well. He's going to send up the inside of Mick. Oh, they're going to go wheel to wheel. Is Ranger going to send any other move? He's going to go for the inside into the chicane. He's going to take the position. He's got 9 seconds of penalty. It's not going to affect him at all. But he's going to get the move on track and take P3 on track. Matt, though, he's won his first race in almost a year. Mikey P2, Mick on the podium. F. Lewis will get P4 in the end, which is probably the best he could have got.
Yeah, good day in the office, I think, for a championship leader there.
Yeah, another big extend of the championship lead there.
SPW as well, been way down the grid. He was down fighting for
Yeah.
P12 and P13, gets himself
He
back
was
to
sitting down in 10th, wasn't
P6.
he?
Back to
All those
P6 in the
penalties.
end, so some good points
All those
scored there.
penalties, isn't it?
And they were in a bit of an intense battle for a little while there. It was good stuff. Let's see if we can get our guys in for a little chat. Oh, wait, actually, so we can see the screens. Chubby Slug takes the win. Mikey P2, Mick 3, F Lewis 4, Ryan 5, SPW P6, Ranger P7, Skarma 8, ENTSJ 9, Mitzimat 10, Danny 11, Dixie P12, Rob Wells 13, Nico Rosberg P14, Volksbob P15, and Fingers with that LEDNF and P16. So we need to get Mikey, Mick, and Matoman. That's an interesting trio on the podium today. So Mikey, him, and him. So Jensen, who will ask the questions? Do you wish to talk to Mr. Matt? I will ask Mataman. That is fine. Of course, I've got some sprint chat to give to them as well.
You could talk to the sprint chat, couldn't you?
So a race winner joins us, Mr. Mataman. A back-to-back winner. Oh, you done the trifecta today. And the Mercedes, I think you always expect a good result, Matt. But sometimes putting the result down is easier said than done. But you seemed very comfortable there today, especially in that feature race. I think you went for like 6 or 7 fastest laps in a row, pretty much. And it was just all in all a good day in the office.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. To be fair, obviously Mercedes it was expected as well. But I was surprised with Ranger putting up a good fight in the Alpine. It kind of shocked me when he got I had a bad start and he kind of got in front of me. I was like, oh, okay, let's just try and claw that back. But yeah, it's good day in the office today. Really good. Quite happy with it.
Yeah, and other than that, aside, Mato man, it was nothing really happened. I wish we had more to talk about, considering, as Jensen says, it's the first time you've won in like a year. But yeah, that early kind of scare from Ranger, but once you got back through, you never looked back. I think you won the sprint by 9 seconds, and take that safety car away, you probably win that race by about 35 seconds, 40 seconds.
I'd say about 20 seconds.
I think it was about 16 seconds.
Oh, right, well, there you go.
The gap you were looking at, you didn't, I think they were 14 seconds behind him, but still Matt was pulling away, absolutely dominating that.
So other than, domination, there's not really much more to say, unfortunately. I guess it's better than talking about drama.
Oh yeah.
And of course, you get the race win, so that's what matters.
Yes, and then looking forward to next week in that lovely Haas.
Of course, but it's Zandvoort, so a track with a lot of corners. The Haas maybe doesn't get hurt as much. Not a lot of straights to lose a lot of time.
It gets more hurt in the corners, to be honest.
Yeah, but a good drive, anybody can drive quick in a straight line in a fast car, but a good driver can go quick in a bad car in the corners.
Hey.
I can concur.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So, the twisted tracks, I always feel, give opportunity to these slower cars, as long as you can hook a semi-good lap together. So, look forward to seeing you there, Matoman, and a very good effort today, as I say, faultless. Yeah, there's not really much more to say. Very well done.
Thank you.
Mikey, you're getting a habit of sticking these Alfa Romeos and Aston Martins on the podium. You were involved in a bit more of a fight. I wouldn't say much of a fight, because I think you were playing a long game. You weren't, especially when you were in the DRS in the early phase with the Ferrari. I think you could always see from how you were driving, your focus was always later, because once that safety car came and I was on board with you for a little minute, it was a completely different Mikey. You were being much more aggressive, you were forcing your way through, whereas I think it was just mature driving in your early phase.
It was just strategic because obviously I knew Matt was gone in the merge, so I called myself up to P2 technically with the penalties while I was P3, and then but the Ferrari was so fast on the straights and in traction zones, but I could just keep with him enough, and then as soon as I seen he was flashing, I was like right, and I tried a few little passes, and I was like okay, so if I saved all my energy and just keeping his DRS, last couple of laps I'm just going to leave him in my dust, but then the safety car come out and ruined my whole strategy, so I just had to push like crazy then.
Yeah, and of course that's when I said we seen maybe a different side, because we don't. You're maybe not. You would agree you're not the most aggressive driver. You're very much a long game style racer. You look at the bigger picture most of the time. But it's nice to just see that you've got the grit. You know, I like seeing us oldies getting our elbows out and showing these youngins that when the time comes we can be aggressive. Quite right, man. And yeah, again for yourself, another very, very good display. You're by far the most consistent driver on a Thursday night. I think most people would agree with that as well. Very, very well done and no issues. Again, I know, it's never ending. I think I've seen you once in about the last 10 weeks get penalties, which is impressive.
Yeah, I went through a phase though where I just get a few, but yeah, I'm back to trying to keep it clean.
Maybe it's...
It was an enjoyable race, it was good.
Yes.
Shame couldn't battle for the win because Matt was in the merge, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the cars with the straight line speed just become silly at tracks like this. But good job in the P2, Mikey. Another very, very good day in the office, and I still expect to see you top 10 in the Haas next week as well, so good job.
Oh, where is Andor?
Yes.
I think I'm in the Williams next week, I've been told.
Oh.
Rage keeps the half, and Matterman gets the half.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's not too bad then. Williams is on for. Well, that's not too bad.
So top 5 hopefully.
No, I like it. I like it. Confidence going forward. And of course, you close the distance a bit in the top 2 in the championship, Mikey, so you're slowly bringing yourself into the fold. Yeah, the gap was, I think, 23 points. That'll probably be down 10. So 13 points between the top 3 going into next week. It's getting interesting. It's a good effort, mate, and I look forward to seeing what you can get done next week. Mick.
Hello, mate.
Good evening. We don't get to talk
Good
to
evening,
you
lads.
often, probably not often enough. I think your performances always warranted you a good finish. You've maybe just not had the luck of the draw, but no luck today. Just very good driving and a good effort. Safety car, of course, helps, and it always helps every day. But P3 could have been more. Penalties aside.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. Them last couple of laps after the safety car, I was hoping and praying, not being bad. Matty and Mikey got a couple of penalties, but pair of them let me down. So, but yeah, start of the race was great. I was battling with SPW. We was dragging each other along with DRS, and then Paul undercut me again. Don't know how that happened. So we was dragging each other along with DRS, and then he run wide. Then I just found myself, I just couldn't catch the car in front. And as you know, if I've got no one in front to catch the DRS, managed to keep Effie Lewis just outside 1 second. But then after the safety car, yeah, I just see Mikey behind me on a mission. So, yeah, I see my penalties. I see he had no penalties. I was just trying to get to the end and get the podium if I can.
And of course, you had a good little battle with Ranger in the end as well. Although he had the penalties, I think he
Yeah.
still wanted to do some racing, and it was a good bit of fighting between the two. I think fair and but entertaining. And I think because you'd seen the gap, is that why you were quite willing to keep trying to fight that, or?
Yeah, well, obviously I wanted to finish ahead of him on track. You always do, but once I see the penalties, and then yeah, he got side by side, so I had to give him the respect, give him the space, and then yeah, he just got round the corner before me, and then yeah, obviously with the penalties, I just let him go, and then I just took my time and crossed the line.
Yeah, it's a P3, Mick, and as I say, I think you've probably had a lot lesser finishes than you should have over the course of the season. So maybe, just maybe, this will be the start of some good momentum for yourself.
Yeah, I hope so. But I'm normally a finish DNF kind of guy, so I'm trying to break that streak next week if I can.
Oh, I feel that pain. But good effort today.
Anyway,
Very well done on
done
the
to Matty
podium.
as well. Well done to Matty and Mikey as well, man.
Nah,
Good
don't
race.
well done on me. I had an overpowered car.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Yeah, mate.
So Jensen, have you got anything for our top three today?
Well done on the podiums, lads. Keeping out the penalties. Apart from Matt, got a penalty.
Yeah.
Suck. But yeah, just well done.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I thought he was odds on to get that second 3 seconds, Matty. I thought he was odds on to get that, but he didn't.
Honestly,
Yeah,
when that safety car came out, I
safety car didn't stop
thought,
him.
oh.
Even that safety car didn't stop him.
No, that
But
safety car
that's what I
came
say,
out, it was a heart in mouth. It's like, oh no, that's kind of ruined it. But yeah, it was good. It was a good race. Well done on the podium, lad.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
So before we wrap up for the day, Jensen, one more thing to call, and that would be our driver of the day.
Jay got it from the game, but I think SPW's one.
That pains me, because that's who I was thinking about, just on sheer entertainment value alone. I think SPW deserved
he came
it
back
today.
from a crash as well. He lost
And
his front
finished
wing, I think.
P6, yeah. So,
Yeah,
I think he has
Had the
deserved.
penalties, just kept it going, waited it out.
So there, yeah, we both had the same person in mind, so I think that makes it easy. SPW gets the driver of the day this Thursday evening. So very well done to Matt, to Mikey, and to Mick. Thank you, Jensen, as always, for joining me. And we will be live again on Sunday for P0. And I don't know where, but we are somewhere racing.